Okay, lawn fans, happy 4th of July 2021. So today let's talk about the point of diminishing returns and what does that mean with your yard. When you get to the optimum point in your yard where you think everything is great, that's exactly how you want it to look, but then it starts to decline in appearance. That's the point of diminishing returns, where you're putting the same effort into your yard, but you're not getting the pinnacle of what you want your yard to look like or what it did look like. That's what happened to me. So again, a little recap here. I went on vacation for a week. I had a buddy cut my yard a couple times while I was gone. However, during that time we had a bunch of rain come in the area, so it was hard to maintain the height of cut. And so when I came back, I put the mower on the lawn and tried to cut it at the level that it was at before I left on vacation, and the yard wasn't having it. So basically, I did a mini scalp to the yard, and it looked horrible. No matter what I did, how much water I pounded to it, anything, I couldn't get the look back that I wanted. The 4th of July for me is my Super Bowl or National Championship day, where I want my yard to look the very best of the entire year. Did I achieve that goal this year? We'll see in just a little bit here. But first, let's talk about a few things that may help you out with your yard. I took some notes here this time to write down some things to make sure that I got my point across to you guys. Now, my yard has been at 3/8 of an inch. We are in July now. Today is July the 4th. The heat and the humidity here in Georgia is starting to come on strong. So is it feasible to try to maintain the yard at 3/8 of an inch? Probably not for me, and with the McLean that I'm using, a 7 reel mower. I'm gonna need to move that up. I'm gonna need to move it up to 3/4 to 1 inch. Somewhere in that range is gonna be my sweet spot. So tomorrow, Monday the 5th, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna scalp the yard down. Then I'm gonna let the growth continue up until it gets between 3/4 to 1 inch, and I'm gonna maintain that for the rest of the summer. What could I have done to make sure that my yard maintained its color, the strength, the thickness, everything that you want in your yard while I was gone on vacation? Plant growth regulator, PGR, and you'll hear people talk about this a lot. I was nervous about putting it on my yard before I went on vacation because I wouldn't be here if something went wrong. That wouldn't have mattered anyways. If I had done something wrong applying that, it was still going to go wrong whether I was here or not, and that's what I should have done. Now, some of you guys may hear plant growth regulator, PGRs, and have looked them up online and thought, dear God, I can't pay that. That's expensive. Well, do this. Go on to the lawnforums.com, and there's, I forget where it's at, I think it's a marketplace tab that's on there, and you will have people that swap all sorts of different products on there. That somebody may buy a gallon of PGR and they want to divide it up and sell it so they don't take the big hit. There are all sorts of products that are on there. So if you have never been on Lawn Forum, I encourage you to go look on there. I don't get paid for saying that. It's just a really good place to go, and the guy that's over it is a really good guy too. Let's see here. So since I got back from vacation, I basically threw the kitchen sink at the lawn. I started out thinking that all I was going to do was put some iron on it, and I was going to do a comparison of the Double Dark with Green County Fertilizer, Simple Lawn Solutions new formula that they sent out to some lawn guys or video creators, whatever you want to call it. And because the height of cut and I wasn't getting a lot of leaf tissue in my yard on the plants being the grass, it didn't give it a good chance to maximize its effect. So what does that mean? Is that I didn't have enough green on my yard to apply those products to show a visible difference. So I don't have anything to report back on that. As far as throwing the kitchen sink at the yard, I put Milorganite on it. Let's see here. I put Milorganite, I put iron, I put humic, I put RGS by Green County, I put Multipurpose Plus by BioPro. When I say I threw the kitchen sink at the yard, I did, just to try to get a color difference. But again, it all came back to my mower and the height of cut I was mowing at, and I was just taking too much off for it to grow and fill in. So here's what you need to do with a scalp or a reset. You can't take your yard down. If you want your yard to be this high, how to cut that high. You can't just say I'm going to scalp it down to this high. You have to go down to this height. Let it grow up and maintain to that height. Again, you can't go in and cut it and hope to get your desired results if you cut it at this height. You have to go down and actually reset. Let it grow back up. I don't know why I wasn't thinking about that when I came in and I chopped this thing down out here, but I wasn't, mainly because my McLean really can't go that much shorter and still have a quality cut. So anyways, that's what my plan is to do tomorrow. Again, I talked about PGR. Hey, the other yards in my neighborhood, they've got this lime green appearance that you're going to see on my yard. None of them have a dark green, lush and thick look right now. Let's see here. We talked about scalping. I'm going to be between 3/4 and an inch for the rest of the season. What will I do for the rest of the season? I'm going to maintain. Not going to do anything crazy. I'm going to maintain it with micronutrients. I'll be coming up with another round of a fertilizer since I just hit it with that Milorganite. I got to wait. Milorganite is an organic, so it's not going to burn my yard. Like I said, we're in the hot heat right now, so that was something I could do that was safe. Now, if I went and put a synthetic fertilizer, granular out right now, could go either way. With this heat, some companies will spray your yard with liquid nitrogen this time of year to get that quick pop of green. However, you're just going to get the top growth on that. It's going to do nothing for the roots. And as far as digging your roots down deep in the ground, going down, and the further down the roots go, the more that it's reaching down for the water, and what I want to say here, the stronger that the plant will be, basically. Let's see here. So when I put the PGR down after my lawn, I'm going to have to wait for my lawn to recover to the appearance that I want. Then I'm going to put the PGR down on it. That will eliminate a lot of the cutting that I'm doing right now, because a lot of the cutting I'm doing is, more than 3 times a week, I bet you. It will slow that down. It'll encourage vertical growth of the plant versus growing up, and it'll cut down on some of my grass cutting, and so that'll keep me from being on the yard in the heat of the summer coming up, the dog days of summer down here in the south. And the grass doesn't want you walking on it. The grass doesn't want to be cut when it's under stress from the heat. So the PGR is going to help with that too. Okay, so that's it for the notes that I have for you guys. Let's go out here, let's take a look at the yard, and I'll tell you guys what I think. Okay, lawn fans, so here we go. Here she is. We have, I did a wavy pattern in the yard to kind of simulate a flag waving in the wind. We threw some stars down out here. I'll show you the green here in a minute. But you can see the waves in it right now. And we did some stars. And if you look up there now, am I happy with the green that came in? Yeah, I mean, the green looks okay. It's not the greenest that I wanted. Like I said, it's a lime green. And we have the shading going on with the sun right now, so you see the difference in the color of the stripes. It's still got a lot of brown in it, guys. I'm just not pleased like I was last year. But it is what it is. You learn a lesson, you move on. Over here, we still got some areas that's filling in, and it looks fairly decent over here. It's thick. It's the thickest it's ever been, I can tell you that. So I'm going to attach some pictures to this so you guys will see some still pictures. Oh, here's a spot that I have not done any cutting on in a while. If you look at the color on that, that's a pretty decent color there, a darker color. So, and then a look from this angle at the yard. Now, I hope that you guys learned some valuable information from what all went on in my yard and what I've done to it to this point. The spring, my yard was off the chain. It looked really, really good. Spring into the middle of June. Dark, deep color. But as the heat comes on, different things happen. you know, you got to change your process. You got to change the way you approach taking care of your yard. So I guess that's the biggest thing. You can't always do the same thing. You always have to look to your conditions, the environment, and other stresses that your lawn may be under. You just can't do the same thing from the beginning of spring all the way through to the middle of fall. So that's it. If you guys got any questions, if you like the video, give me a thumbs up or leave me a comment down below and I'll throw some pictures in now. Have a good one. Bermuda Brian out.